lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Spot, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va. Schwarber Bob, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento, swing y lo ponchó. Ponche de Alvarado, amigos.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another season of Phillies Weekly. For Jeff and I, it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Happy Easterns for those of you that celebrate. Happy Eastern, Jeff. How you doing, brother?
Oscar, I'm kind of surprised. I thought we got a new graphics package for the new season.
It's coming. Believe it or not, the guy that does the video, he's celebrating somewhere at a beach down in South America.
I'm jealous, man. I wish I could join him. It's cold up here.
Oh, absolutely. Real pleasure to be with you back for our third season. Look, it's going to be a very interesting year. Running it back and bringing a few important pieces that we're beginning to see some good start for them. I mean, we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk a little bit also about the window, a championship window. Where are we with that window, particularly with some of the guys getting older, some of the new guys coming in, some guys coming on in a year contract. So it's going to be an interesting year. I think the division is there for us to go get, but it all depends on how we execute, and performance is going to be the key. So it's going to be a fascinating year as usual for our Fighting Phils. And today, Jeff, we have kind of a dream team, right? We got a dream team of players here with us. So why don't we bring them on and see who they are? There they are. There's the dream team. Tim Kelly from OnPattison. How you doing, Tim? How's it going, brother?
I'm good. Good to see you guys, Oscar. I miss you down at the park.
Hey, you know how it is, man. The world, as the world turns, I mean, they're exciting things. I'm doing NBA right now. I'm going to be doing a number of things with Jeff and Mike Gill on 97.3 ESPN every day from noon to 12:30. We're there for you. You can stream it through our social media channels. We're going to bring you kind of what's going on, kind of a beat. This called Phillies Fastball, and we started bringing it last week, and today is the preview of Phillies Weekly. I mean, look, you know what? This is our baby. I mean, this is where everything started, and looking forward to it. It's going to be a fascinating year. There's Luke Arcaini. What's going on, Luke?
What's going on? Happy to be back for another year. Get this thing underway again.
And what can we say? The one and only Phil Stelgate. Tyler, how you doing, brother? What's going on?
Hey, I'm doing well. I'm happy to be back. Happy to have Phillies baseball almost every day. It's a good time.
It's a good time. I mean, and as usual, a beginning of the year, as everything happens with this Fighting Phils, is an interesting year, right? So, look, let's jump into it right away. This is kind of where we are as of right now. I mean, the Braves made me run at the last minute. They lost the last game, so I had to go in and redo the chart right away so you guys could get the latest and greatest. But kind of here's where we are. So Marlins 5-3. Braves and Mets at 6-4, and the Phillies are 5-4, and the Nationals are where they probably will end up the year in the bottom of the basement. But look, the Marlins 5.3 runs per game. They've shown some hitting baseball ability. I mean, the Braves great pitching so far, 2.2 runs per game. I mean, that is a very, very impressive numbers, as well as the pitching for the Mets have been holding off. So both the Braves or the Mets are going to be there probably. I mean, if their injuries, particularly for the Braves, hold up, they're going to be there with us the rest of the way. So it's going to be very interesting. Tim, let's start with you. Kind of what are your thoughts after the first 9 or 10 games in the division?
I'm impressed by the Marlins. Sandy Alcantara had a complete game the other day. He pitched much better down the second half of last season. And I went over last year at some point in the second half when the Marlins were in town. I wanted to do an interview with Tyler Phillips after the game, but the Marlins had just beaten the Phillies. They had won like 7 in a row. They weren't going to be a playoff team, but I got the vibe under Clayton McCullough that they really had some positive energy to finish off last season, and some of that appears to have carried over to this year.
It's very interesting. How about you, Tyler, from your end? How do you see things?
Yeah, I think it's pretty telling that we're all pretty much outside of the Nationals pretty even. The Marlins are definitely an underdog, but they've been doing a great job so far. I'm still skeptical on their plan with calling pitches from the dugout. I still think that that's not the best, but we'll see how it works out. You know, the Braves are doing pretty well despite having almost no starting pitching at the moment. And I still think that it's going to come down to the Mets and the Phillies at the end. And we're all still basically in it. But every team has shown something right now that's positive, and they've all shown that they do have weaknesses. You know, there's not really one main team in this division.
That's good. How about you, Luke, from a Philly standpoint? What are your views so far on the Phillies as we start the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good start. Obviously, you know, that little early skid after opening day wasn't pretty. I think there's some people out there that maybe thought the season was over after 4 games, but that, you know, that's why the season's 162 games. But no, they've looked good over the last, 4 games. Obviously, I think Tuesday and Wednesday were the big ones for me with Andrew Painter out there, and then obviously the walk-off for Justin Crawford on Wednesday. A lot of run it back talk in the offseason, but it's been a nice little influx of some youth so far that I think this team really needs throughout this year.
Look, after that 13 runs, you can see I've been doing the NBA, right? Points. After those 13 runs, the Nationals put against us. I mean, the world was going to go down. So, your views, high level so far on the Phillies, Tim. You're mute. I think you're on mute.
My bad. A lot of what we expected. I think it was a very good sign over the weekend that both Aaron Nola and Jesus Luzardo bounced back. So I think that is welcomed. Taijuan Walker has not looked good through 2 starts, so we'll wait and see. I think the bullpen, Duran has looked great. Keller's mostly looked good. Jose Alvarado does not look like he has his control yet. So that's something to monitor. And I think the lineup is a lot of what we expected. You are missing that 4 or 5, those type of hitters. I think Brandon Marsh should probably be hitting higher in the lineup than he is, but you feel pretty good about 1 to 3. You have some other guys that you feel comfortable being in an MLB lineup, but you don't necessarily have those 4 or 5 hitters on this team.
That's fair. How about you, Jeff, in general, as we go start looking at some of the specific stats, 5-4, 3-3 at home, 2-1 on the road after losing today. We're 2-1 in the division. We have not faced a 500 team yet because every one of the teams are below 500. We're 1-1 in extra innings, 3-1 in 1-run games, 2-1 in series, and then I think the most telling piece here, I mean, outside of the run differential that were negative, is the left-handed pitching. I mean, we have a problem. Actually, we have a problem against left-handed pitching, and they're throwing. I mean, I was surprised, Tim, on what you just said a minute ago as I pass it over to Jeff. Why didn't he bring March up, particularly if they had one left-handed pitcher in the entire starting staff? You need to bring your best left-handed hitter, which, I mean, in that case would have been Brandon March instead of Stott. I would have brought him up. I agree 100% with that.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I'm on board with both you guys. I was just going to add to Tim's point. Like, I thought Brandon Marsh should have hit 5th to begin the season, no matter what Bryson Stott was doing at the end of the year and in spring training. And I was kind of surprised to see Rob Thompson go that route. And as we all know, he's probably going to keep this lineup against righties and lefties for a while. But I would move Brandon Marsh up. I think he's just too productive. The OPS is like 840, 850 against right-handed pitching. That's really good. Gives protection for Alec Boehm. I think Stott's a better hitter, 7th anyway. I just wanted to add, I think the bottom of the lineup has been pretty good so far through the first 9 games. I thought that was going to be a strength. They clearly want power in the 7th spot, as by Brandon Marsh, Otto Kemp when he bats 7th against lefties. JT Realmuto has been fine. Justin Crawford, he's been what you expected so far. And yeah, I like the bottom of the lineup. The top of the lineup's going to hit, but I'm with you guys. The 4 and 5 hitters, I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, and we need to start faster this year than the previous years because the easier part of the schedule is now. I mean, it's in the beginning of the season. I mean, as we start, there's for the middle of the season, we have Dodgers and Yankees. I mean, back to back. I mean, after the All-Star game, that we need to start faster this year. I wanted to keep the numbers. The numbers in gray there are a number last year. We were 14-12 in April, 19-9 in May. And we start. I mean, you could see we went about five. We were about 500 between June and July, and then we took off again in August and September. I do believe we need a quicker start this year to be much more effective or be as effective as we were last year to be able to win the division.
Yeah, and you've had 2 chances here now with back-to-back bad teams where it was a struggle to take 2 out of 3 from the Nationals, and then you win the first 2 against the Rockies, and you kind of just lay an egg though in this third game. Not only Taijuan Walker, but they didn't hit. So I think these are series that maybe like to your point, in May through June, you might sweep them, and instead you settle for 2 out of 3. And it's still good to win the series, but some of these bad teams, it's better to just sweep them.
I mean, Luke, your thoughts. I mean, we go out in Colorado and get 7 runs in the first inning, and after that, for the entire series, two games and whatever, and 8 innings, we only get 6 runs. I mean, which is a bit concerning, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's been the story, I guess, of the Phillies for the last couple of years, right? As they get hot, they get cold. I thought, the guys that the Rockies threw actually pitched pretty well on Saturday. Especially, I can't remember exactly who it was, but they had one guy out there for nearly like 5 innings after the opener. But yeah, I mean that's been the Phillies' way is they go, 15 to 20 innings of scoring 20 runs, and then the next 3 games they lay an egg. They're hot, they're cold, and they're everything in between. So it's just finding that consistency. It's early. I think they'll find it. They've shown in the past that even if they're not the most consistent offense, they can consistently win a lot of games. But yeah, I mean, you would like to beat up on these bad teams early in the year, Rangers, National, Rockies, the San Francisco's gotten off to a rough start. This could easily be a 9-2 to 9-3 start. But here we are at 5-4 to start the year.
And we'll go specifically into some of the things. Here's kind of the chart that I've shown you since the last year or so. We're trying to score 4 runs per week, 4 or more runs per week, and we're trying to score or allow less than 4 runs per game. And the bottom line is our hitting has been exactly at 4, but our pitching has been way above the 4 mark at 533 and 433 per game, runs allowed per game. So last year there was only one time where we did not score 4 or more runs, and we did not have, and we had lower low or higher than 4 runs that we had a negative WIC. So the bottom line, if we get this 2 in red in green, 4 or more runs scored and less than 4 runs allowed per game, we're going to have a lot of greens like the way we had it last year. Again,
I actually think the 4.33 this week isn't that bad because you played in Colorado. And the one game that really sunk you was the game against the Nationals where you gave up 13 runs. Yeah. Against Colorado, you did the pitching did a great. I mean, even Taijuan Walker today gave up 4 runs. It wasn't a good start, but it's not like you can go into Colorado and easily get 17 runs hung on you. The Phillies did a pretty good job overall. Jesus Luzardo last night looked dominant.
Yeah, and what I meant is the only week that was negative last year was a week where we did not score 4 runs and we allowed more than 4 runs a game. So that's why it was negative. The rest, if we hit at least one of the 2, we normally would be in green. So that's kind of the reality of things here. Look, we're going this week against San Francisco and Arizona. I kept the numbers from last year. So in the first half of the year, at the bottom, all the way to the bottom. So this year we scored so far 4 runs per game. Last year in the first half of the year, first 16 weeks, we scored 4.44 runs per game, and we went to 55 and 41. in the second half of the year, we went 41-25, and we increased our runs per game to 529. Our pitching significantly went down, primarily because Wheeler went down. We scored, we allowed in the first half of the year 3.91 runs per game. And then the second half of the year, we allowed 436, where our hitting basically took over. That's where we had our difference in home run, we were like, 18th in home run the first part of the year, and the second half of the year we were like 8th. So we significantly, second. So we significantly increased our home run hitting ability. So we'll keep updating this as we go into the years. Let's go into some news. And Jeff, maybe you take this one, both kind of in the minor leagues with Wheeler. Wheeler have pitched 2 games so far, 7.5 ERA. The first game he looked pretty good. That fastball was at 94, over 94 miles an hour. His velocity went significantly down, and he had an error that cost him the game. Why don't you talk a little bit to us about Zach Wheeler, and also about Orion Kerkering, that had looked really, really good in his minor league rehab?
Yeah, I'm more than encouraged with how Kerkering's pitched over this rehab stint. Even on Tuesday, he looked like he didn't have his control early, but got it after he gave up the run, and pretty much has just been dominant ever since. I thought the sweepers looked really good. Fastball was in the high 97s. Look, he's back. He's going to be back with this team this week, and the Phillies can't be what's the word I'm looking for? They can't be more pleased to get him back. Let's just put it that way. So Kerkering's been fine. Again, he should be back this week. Wheeler, Friday night, I don't think he pitches as bad if the miscommunication left field or whatever the heck that was in the, what was it, Tim? The third inning? You probably were paying attention more to that game than I was on Friday.
Yeah, I was watching it. It was the third inning, and Oscar Mercado, who is more used to probably playing center field, is in left field, and Pedro Leon. And Pedro Leon's in center. Mercado has just rejoined the organization like a week ago, and the ball just dropped in between them. Now, it was hit pretty deep. It wasn't as though it was soft contact, but it still probably should have been caught. And arguably none of those runs scored, and he probably gets to come back out for a 4th inning. Instead, he's done after 3 innings. So it wasn't good. He had 2 batters in that inning also, but it was made worse by that.
So what do we make out of this in terms of kind of where do we expect he's going to throw maybe a couple more outings? Before, so he can,
at least 2.
Regaining the velocity is the most important thing. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I thought there was a chance he would only make 1 more, but the way this went, I think it's probably 2 more, and we'll see from there.
Okay.
He's going to pitch Wednesday from what I've heard and was told. So I think it's Wednesday in Lehigh, and then if all goes well, I think the Tuesday, if it goes by that rotation, because AAA is always off Monday. So probably Wednesday and Tuesday, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, look, he looked really well. He looked really good in training camp. He looked really nice. He looked really well also in the first outing. And unfortunately, the mishap there in left field, cost him to allow some runs. And I'm much more concerned with his velocity. 92. I think it was throwing at 92 miles an hour in that last outing. It probably is like 3 miles below where you truly want to see him when he comes up. So we'll see what happens. Also, the weather. The weather has an impact. It's colder now than the regular season. Then when the season truly comes during the summer months, it'll be a lot easier to throw. But I don't know if weather was a factor. You know what the weather was like? Was it Durham?
In Durham, they definitely had a cold spell, but it was warmer than here. I actually thought Wheeler was pretty good when he pitched his start in Lehigh. It was chilly. I was sitting out there. It was heavy trench coat. It's probably like 35 degrees out. A little bit of wind that day. The sun was out, but Wheeler. That was the day that photo you have of Wheeler, Oscar. He short sleeve. It was cold. But he always wears short sleeve. It should be warmer on, was it Wednesday? I think he's pitching. It should be in the 60s. So I'm curious. I just want to see if the velocity goes up over these next 2 starts. His breaking pitches seem to be fine, but
so Wednesday's the next start.
Wednesday will be his next one, and then it'll be the following Tuesday because he won't pitch Sunday. That's too short a rest, and they're all.
He does always wear short sleeves, and I never thought I'd have a chance to use this, but I did ask him once, like 2 years ago, why he doesn't wear long sleeves. And he said after he got Tommy John surgery that it just bothered him having something there. So it's always short sleeves no matter the weather. And between New York and Philly, he's pitched in some cold games.
Yeah, and Kerkering is joining the team on tomorrow. So I don't know if there was a question if they're going to activate him tomorrow or not, but he's traveling to San Francisco to join the team there.
And one thing I've noticed with Wheeler is, at least in his last game, the first 2 innings, his velocity was a lot higher. So it could just be a situation where, he still has to build up. He still has to get himself back into it. I mean, he also looks a little bit thinner. I don't know if anyone has like an updated weight on him, but he does look a little bit thinner.
Yeah, there was.
So he told me he lost 10 pounds. That's what he told me.
I read something, I believe, out of The Athletic this morning that I think he's down to like 190. I think he's usually around like the 210 range. But yeah, he definitely looks thinner. And I mean that, I think, there was something along the lines of the Phillies are, working on getting that weight back, which, I think with his getting back to his normal weight, I think the velocity, that can't hurt the velocity. But like you said, Ty, I think it's a good sign that the velocity was a little more normal early in the game. I mean, like Rob Thompson said, this is still basically spring training for him. So I'm not necessarily worried, but I think it'll be, like everyone said, at least a couple more.
If we get to the 4th start and the velocity is still down, then I'll be more concerned. But I think it's a tough injury to come back from. Yeah. I even looked into like Merrill Kelly when he was doing his prep to come back. Of course, they didn't have velocity on any of those games that he was pitching coming back, but he went through the same situation where he was struggling the first couple games deeper into the start. So I don't know, maybe going into the 4th start, if he's still struggling and the velocity is still not there, then I would be a little bit more concerned.
I would not hurry him up. I mean, whatever time he needs to take. I mean, because we need Wheeler at his best. I mean, Wheeler could be the deciding factor for us to make a long playoff run. And to me, his health and him coming fully back is the most important thing for this team. So, Tyler, there's a question for you. How about that?
If they get to the middle of April and the velocity's not back, I think the Phillies are a smart team, as this person's face is covering me up right here. But
I know. Sorry.
No, you're fine. It was just funny because I went to look down at myself and then I didn't see myself. But I mean, if they get to middle towards the end of April and the velocity's still not there, there's absolutely no reason to rush him back in April, May. You need him from, August on rather than right now.
Now, here's a question for you. They gave Kepler effect. Do you think that has something to do with the Marlins or not?
I don't know. I don't even want to talk about that guy.
Only bad memories. Only bad memories. Only bad memories. Okay, let's go back to this one. So in terms of look, I have a couple of slides here, one on the rookies and a couple of newcomers. I mean, just our overall thoughts. I don't think it could have gone any better the first 9 games of these 2 guys. I mean, they've been as advertised, and I mean, a game-winning hit for Crawford. I mean, Tim, let's start with you, and then we go Jeff and then Tyler, and then we'll continue going here.
I thought Crawford struggled a little offensively in Colorado. He wasn't as impressive, but yeah, certainly the first homestand he was great, and I think so far he's passed the test in center field too, which we've kind of taken for granted. And not that he's perfect. Some of the routes haven't been perfect, but Colorado is a huge, gigantic outfield, and he didn't have any misplays there. He correctly fielded the ball off Monty's angle or against Monty's angle. So I think he's done a good job. People just need to have fair expectations for him. This is not someone that's going to come lead off for you this year. This is a bottom of the order hitter. And if you just have him put the ball in play, run when he gets on base, I think that's good. And I know people have said, well, you're not going to want to steal when you have Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, and Kyle Schwarber coming up, which maybe you will, maybe you won't. The other thing, though, is Justin Crawford can go first to home if you put a ball in the gap, too. So just having him get on base is important. And then Painter, I'll keep it simple. It was super impressive. We'll see what he does tomorrow night in San Francisco, but he couldn't have gone much better in the debut.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Your views on Crawford and Painter, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, look, Justin Crawford did those first 6 games what I expect him to do. Just get on base any way possible. Everybody likes to talk about the ground ball rate. And look, that first day, he was like a kid in the candy store, right? Finally made it. I talked to a lot of the minor league guys over the last couple of weeks that worked with Crawford or been around Crawford. And I had, top prospects of Reading and Lehigh tell me that they're so impressive how hard Crawford works and how much better he's gotten over the last couple of years. And he's been pretty good. But the work he's been putting in with his defense, with Eric Davis, with Chris Tank Adamson in Lehigh, just the work he's done. Dante Nori is very impressed with how Justin Crawford goes about his business. And, Dante Nori works with Kyle Schwarber in the all season. So he knows about hard work.
They'll both be in our outfield very soon. So
yeah.
Soon coming over to your theater. So
I'm impressed with
the real thing.
Justin Crawford is just a super positive guy, and having that energy around on a veteran team where it has to be tough. Not saying it's not fair that the expectation is nothing matters till October, but it has to be tough having that expectation. And I think having a younger guy like Justin Crawford can help to put things back in perspective.
I think the funniest thing with him for me, Crawford, is that, mainly this past offseason, it was a lot of the ground ball rate talk. And he's just going to hit balls into the ground. And he is exactly as advertised as he was last year. And it's crazy because, like, you watch these Lehigh games and it's like, yeah, he hits the ball into the ground all the time, but he just gets on base. So far this season, he's hit the ball on the ground a lot, but he's gotten on, like, he just finds a way on base. And that's exactly what you need out of your 9-hitter.
And these stats are up to date. 345 on base percentage. I mean, it's really impressive. I mean,
take it every day of the week out of the 9.
I'll take that. I mean, any day of the week. I mean, that kid, he's going to steal tons of bases. I mean, as Tim said, when he, hit it. A base hit toward the gap. This kid can run it from first to home quicker than most guys in baseball. So.
And the other thing with Crawford that I've noticed is he hasn't stolen a lot of bases yet, but he's very smart on when he's trying to steal the bases. Even at the end of the year last year in Lehigh Valley, I saw that. At the beginning of the year, he was a little aggressive on the base paths, but he was really, picking and choosing his spots. If he didn't feel comfortable against a certain pitcher, he wasn't going. But he's still making it seem like he's going to run on pitches and making the pitchers nervous. He's getting thrown back to first a lot. But the one really impressive thing that I've seen with Crawford is he will have these bad at-bats where he's swinging out of his shoes on everything. But then he'll come back the next at-bat and just get a single, like out of nowhere. And I think that's really impressive that he can still recover that fast. Some people get into these slumps where they're just swinging at terrible pitches every single at-bat. But it seems like he really leaves the last at-bat behind and tries again the next time around, and he's had early success. And with Painter, one start, but I think that was better than everyone was expecting.
That kid is a fighter. He's a fighter. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, Luke.
Yeah. One of the biggest things for me with both of these guys is it's their attention to detail of their routines at such a young age. There was a tweet I saw on opening day of Crawford just like walking around the outfield, and it was taken at the time as him, taking it all in, but turns out like that's his routine. And
he does that all the time
before every game. And same thing with Andrew Painter. I thought just like watching him go about everything on the field the day of his debut, like both of these guys don't seem like they're 22 years old. Like both of these guys don't seem like they've only been on a major league roster for a week, but at the same time, they're still bringing that youth in because, it's been a lot of veterans over the last 4 or 5 years on this team. So it's nice to have these young guys in there. And, you know, while they're these, you know, young star rookies for you, they're already going about it like veterans, which I think can really help the team as well. Because, you know, they see these younger guys come in, but they see that, you know, these guys already fitting. I don't think anyone on the Phillies has any doubt in either of these two guys right now.
Well, it'll be very interesting tomorrow. I mean, let's watch Painter. Why don't we focus our attention now into Odalis Garcia and Brad Keller? To me, kind of the two big acquisitions that we got, both one hitting and the other one pitching. And what we have seen from them so far, I mean, Odalis have hit the ball very, very hard. I mean, I've been impressed. He's not a big on-base percentage guy, but he can hit the ball hard. I mean, your overall impression. Let's start with you, Tyler.
Yeah, you're right. He definitely can hit it hard. But, you know, to me, the biggest thing is his defense. You know, he's making plays that weren't made in the past with our former right fielder. And he has,
by the way, our former right fielder is hitting, I think, like 176 in San Diego. So
he had a big hit against Ranger Suarez today. So
yeah, he did. Okay, 180.
Yeah, but you know, I've been very impressed, especially with, you know, people touting how good he is in right field. You know, not watching a ton of Texas Rangers games. I've only seen it a few times, but he's a lot faster than he looks. He's making great decisions when it comes to fielding. And then with his offense, you know, he's had games that he struggled. I mean, during the Rangers series, he didn't look good at all. But he's really rebounded the past two series and shown off his power. I've been pretty impressed so far.
I'll take the 835 OPS and put it in the bank.
But look at these career stats. I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, he's definitely playing better now than he has in a few years. So I think it's just a week-by-week thing.
He's a streaky. He's a streaky. Yeah. He's very similar to Castellanos in that respect. I mean, that's his career. But we'll take what he can give. I mean, he's a showman. He likes to show off. So, I mean, and that's a good thing. Because when the right time comes, this guy is gonna bring his best. He's gonna bring his best every time, but particularly in showtime. I mean, he loves that.
Yeah, and I think that's the perfect word for him. You know, like if he hits a big home run in the playoffs, he's gonna send Citizens Bank Park into a frenzy. Like you can tell he plays with a lot of emotion. And you know, I think one of the craziest parts to me about his power, like you said, Ty, is it's just so much raw power. And like, obviously you see the muscles, like he's a gigantic human being, but like that ball he hit out today, like most baseball players don't hit that ball. And I know it's in Colorado, but like most baseball players don't get that ball out of the stadium. Like it's just straight up raw what he has.
He's two hits. I mean, he's 2 home runs have been to the positive side. So I mean, he can hit.
It's really impressive.
Tim, I love your thoughts on him, and also your perspective on his role inside the clubhouse and the dynamics with him inside the clubhouse. That would be very interesting to understand your perspective on that.
It's probably a little too early to tell the clubhouse part, but certainly he comes off in the few times I've talked to him. Very nice guy, speaks English and Spanish, and then obviously he has like a long-standing relationship with Edmundo Sosa, so they're good friends, and so that's kind of a cool relationship. I would say on the field, Tyler mentioned the fielding, which there have just been a few plays where it's like Nick Castellanos is not getting to that ball. It's not a diss, it's just reality. I think offensively, you can, if you didn't like the signing, there's things you can look at and say, see, I was right. And if you did like the signing, there's things you can look at. He's held up on chasing pitches in a few key spots, but his overall chase percentage is pretty similar so far to what it had been in Texas. So he needs to work on that. But you saw the home run today in the 9th inning. He had the single into right field. Like he's had some good moments, and I do think he's somebody, he seems to like it when the weather's a little warmer. So as things warm up,
he is bundled up.
That baklava he had on the other day, he looked like he did not want to be there.
It's funny to me, guys, that aren't from the United States, like when it's like under 75 degrees, they're putting on the winter caps and stuff because they think it's cold. But
I mean, you could see me. I mean, when I came here, when I came to Philly, it was like, oh my God, this is the coldest place I've ever been in my life. I mean, you see me always with kind of the hoodie and just trying to keep it warm. It's important. We're not accustomed to this, trust me.
No, but I think he's been encouraging so far for sure.
Jeff,
I've been impressed. I mean, look, I don't expect much, I guess, because of what Nick Castellanos brought. But look, Garcia, I think we'll all take a 294 bag after him this year. I would take 250 from him this year, but
I'd take the 835 OPS.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. We'll take the 835 OPS out of Adolis Garcia. I think his defense has been more than fine. He's definitely an upgrade there. I mean, look, people didn't want to admit it in the offseason, but you did upgrade him right field when you signed this guy.
And Brad Keller, I love it. I mean, look, I know he only has 2 strikeouts. His arm is a big-time arm. I mean, this guy can bring it. I mean, I love the results are not there yet, but this guy has some type of an arm. I mean, he reminds me a lot of Jeff Hoffman. I mean, I see a lot of Jeff Hoffman in him.
I would say I don't have the numbers in front of me. I feel like he's getting a lot of broken bats. Like he's a guy that will pitch you in, and it's like he's getting firewood every single time he's out on the mound. So anytime you give up runs early in the season, your ERA is not going to look good. But I think for the most part, he wasn't impressive in the WBC, but for the most part during the regular season, he's done a good job.
And he was the MVP. Kossel, the manager of the Chicago Cubs, said, the MVP on my pitching staff was this guy. And we were able to get him in free agency. So that's a big, big get for us.
Go
ahead. You're going to say something
I'm
else?
Looking at this right now. So he hasn't been barreled up one time yet this entire season. He's throwing the ball well. That ERA is a little misleading for how he's pitched so far.
That's a home run by Adam. That got him.
They were a half a second away from being out of that inning. Before
Abrams got him with that home run, and
he's been a lot better than a near ERA of 7 so far.
Yeah, those are the 3 runs. That 3-run homer by Abrams in the Washington series. So we're 100 days away from the All-Star game. Believe it or not, I mean the Phillies put this out there today. So look, celebration is coming. The Centennial is coming to Philly. It's going to be wild with the World Cup. The World Cup starts June 11th. So that's when the World Cup starts in general. Let's go and look at some of our hitting. So here's kind of what I love to do, which is where do we stand from a hitting standpoint? So we're 19th in run score right now. We're 16th in batting average. Our OPS is overall 13th, but look at the difference between we're 5th against right-handed pitching, and we're against left-handed pitching. We're 27th in baseball at a 496 OPS. That's a scary number there against lefties. I mean, they're going to throw lefties at us. We're going Rays pitching against us in this series, and there's another lefty from the Giants I think is pitching against us in the series. We'll look at that more details as we go further, but that's very, very scary, the OPS against left-handed pitching.
Yeah, Chase, they need to get it going. That's been how it's been the last few years. They've been really good against righties, and they've been below average against lefties. It comes down to what you get out of those platoon guys, and obviously Edmundo Sosa had a rough start at the plate before Wednesday's game. Wednesday, was his first big game, but it's, what do you get out of the Otto Kemp? Because your OPS against right-handed pitching in left field is really good with Brandon Marsh. What do you get out of Otto against lefties? I think that's, one of the bigger questions for me, because that's one of the only real changes to the lineup.
I mean, and this is one of the issues with being so reliant against Brandon Marsh against righties. He, to this point in his career, has been virtually unplayable against lefties. So you have to take him out. And I think it's way too early to make any judgments on Otto Kemp. I like Otto Kemp. I think he's going to prove to be a good platoon partner. But even in the best case scenario, he's not going to do what Brandon Marsh does against righties, against lefties, which means somebody else has to step up. And again, we get back into this issue where you have guys to hit 1, 2, and 3. You have guys to hit 6, 7, and 8. you don't really have that 4 or 5, especially in your lineup against lefties.
That's where, I mean, Jeff and I started talking a little bit about the other day in the Phillies Fastball podcast. Brian De La Cruz was the MVP of the Dominican season down in Winter Ball, and he was the MVP of the postseason as well. The guy was hitting really well, and look,
and the last week too.
Yeah, he had 3
home
runs in like his last 4 at bats at one point.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, I mean, look, to me, I understand why Moore is here. He gives you a lot more flexibility, but if you're not going to use him, I mean, why don't we bring, Brian De La Cruz at some point and leverage his big swinging ability. I mean, the guy he has power, and he was really, really good in the Dominican series. And the Dominican.
Well, I think if you bring De La Cruz up, you'd probably be sending Otto Kemp down as opposed to DFAing Moore.
And that was what I was going to say. I think this might be a hot take, but I actually think Otto Kemp should be in AAA right now, playing every day, getting the at-bats, getting better in left field. I was not impressed with him the few games that he did play in left field this year, and he hasn't played the past couple days, and I don't know how he's going to keep getting better if he just isn't playing. And I understand the matchup situation. You're not going to sit Brandon Marsh to give Otto Kemp playing time if it's against a righty, but it may be wise to just bring up Brian De La Cruz and have Kemp playing every day in AAA for the time being, at least.
The thing is, like, he's never going to be an everyday player at the majors, so you got to get used to this role, because either you're going to sink or swim in this role. I thought last year when he was in left field, he looked pretty good. He hasn't been so far, but it's a small sample size, so I think just kind of ride it out and see what happens. But if you're bringing De La Cruz up, to me, it's just because you think he's better than Otto Kemp. But the Phillies have talked so much about Otto Kemp that it's going to be a little till they make any determination, because obviously they really believe in him, particularly his bat. But I think third base was the position last year I looked at, even though they say it's his natural position, and I was like, I don't really see it. But I think he can suffice in left field, and it'll be a lot easier to overlook some of the shortcomings defensively if he starts hitting.
We're talking about hitting. I don't want to, and I know we talked about the minors, the guys that were in the minors before. Aidan Miller, can you give us an update, Jeff, latest and greatest on Aidan Miller? To your best knowledge?
There really is no update. He hasn't even been swinging a bat yet. That was as of.
I heard he's fielding. Isn't he fielding?
He's fielding. He's running. He's more motion. I've talked to a couple people in Lehigh about this. He's not up to swinging the bat yet.
Okay.
As far as I know, he's still running. He's doing that stuff. They're being really cautious with Aidan Miller.
They should.
Yeah, I mean, if someone told me May 1st, that's pretty optimistic at this point.
So he's actually in Lehigh, just on the IL there. He didn't stay back in Clearwater.
No, he's on the IL. He's in Clearwater. He's on the 7-day IL, but I haven't seen him in Lehigh all the couple times I've been up there. And from what I was told, he was from a couple guys at Reading that know him. He's still in Clearwater. So
it's a weird situation.
I don't think the word is weird. I mean, he's hurt. I mean, he's hurt, and unfortunately, I mean, it's the reality of it, right?
It's a bad omen, I guess, because to have finished last year with a back injury when you're this young, and then to have it this year, it's concerning.
Yeah, hopefully it's not chronic and it's not something. I mean, look at some of the football guys like Jurgens, and that he had to go down to South America to get some type of, I don't know, Jeff, what is it called? Like asteroids or something like that they put on him? Or
yeah, Tim, I was going to ask you this when you were down spring training. Like, was there any rumblings of sciatica maybe?
Not that I just, they mentioned the back and that was it. But I was down early in spring training, so it was really even before they had to say much of anything. And then Bryce Harper accidentally said it on the TV broadcast that one day, and it kind of came out since then. But yeah, it's
wishing nothing but the best. I mean, he's the top talent, or one of the top talents in this organization. And look, hopefully he'll be back in no time and being able to continue to do his magic, because the guy is really, really special. He has some great ability. So, look, surprised, to be honest with you, that we're 17th on Chase. I thought we would be higher, as well as the K percentage. Again, it's early in the season. These numbers are going to move significantly. It's only 9 games, but I was surprised that we're 7th in baseball in terms of being the lowest strikeout rate. It's like, wow, that's impressive.
There was a
doing it.
game in the National Series that they only struck out twice.
Yep. Well, the other thing, we haven't faced great pitching either. I mean, that's the other big thing here. So it's something to look at. Here's where kind of our hitters are. Turner hitting at 289. He struck out 9 times. What I did on the right is the top 3 on the Ks. I put whomever has the most Ks, but the other ones is more on the positive side. So Turner 289. Then you see Schwarber. I mean, what you were talking about, Tim. Look at the middle of the order there. Schwarber, Harper, Baum, Stud. I mean, not hitting at all. Schwarber has those numbers because of his 2 doubles and his 3 RBIs. I mean, his 3 home runs and his 6 RBIs. That's why he's an 897 OPS. But look, we need a much better performance in the middle of the lineup, and I would not mind bringing March up where Stud is. I get the Baum part. He has 7 RBIs, but we need, I mean, only 1 home run, 1 extra base hit is concerning. I mean, you need look where Garcia is compared to Baum in terms of production. So the question I think, if you move him up, I mean, are they going to is he going to feel the pressure to produce more, and he's changing his approach? I mean, that's my bigger question there.
Right now, I would just let Garcia where he is. You hope that top 4 gets going. I don't get why Stott is hitting 5th instead of Marsh, but wherever Stott's hitting, they need it better. I mean, he had a great second half last year, very good spring training, and to this point, it hasn't translated to the regular season. We know he can field very well. He's a base stealer, but it just, you haven't had enough consistent offensive stretches in his career, and I felt like coming into this year, this was going to be that, and it may still very well be. Like, coaches and players will always tell you, like, don't really take any huge judgments until it's like 100 at bats. But it's been, relative to expectations, discouraging how Bryson Stott has started offensively.
Yeah, and look, from Schwarber, from Harper, I get they're streaky, and we're going to get those ups and downs. I mean, but we need. I mean, this season and this year is going to go based on their performance, and maybe this is the time where we talk about this. I would love your thoughts, starting with you, Jeff, and then Tim, and going all the way down on the championship window. What is? I mean, when we look at this team and where this team is, and we know we have Gabe Woods in the minors, and we have Nori then coming up, Aidan Miller will be coming up at some point. Where are we really in the window, looking at it like from the top, looking at it strategically?
Yeah, I keep looking at this as based on how they signed their starting pitching, right? However long you got Zach Wheeler for, where it's the end of next year or not, or where he wants to sign again. But you sign Christopher Sanchez, you sign Jesus Luzardo, you know they're really good. You have a good feeling Andrew Painter is going to be a special kid. So you got those 3 in there. You know, Aaron Nola, I know he's in his 30s now, but he's shown he's definitely good in even-numbered years.
He's going to be a better pitcher this year than he was last year.
Exactly.
I think last year was an anomaly in my view.
So starting pitching, I think, as long as the pitching's good, I think they're always stars and bullpen. I think they're always going to compete, but I do get concerned about the ages of Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper. Look, Adolis Garcia's even up there too, even though he's only here a year. But JT Realmuto's 35, Trey Turner's in his 32, soon to be 33. I mean, it's just, that's the core right there. But I'm glad you mentioned Dante Nori. I think he's probably, if I had to
guess,
a
year and a half, 2 years away. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking about. A year and a half. I think he's going to be in running a lot of this year. Aidan Miller, I expected him to be in Lehigh the whole year. I think Gage Wood, again, he'll probably be a fast riser. I think Alex McFarland's a guy you got to look at as an addition to the bullpen at some point this year. So there are a couple guys that you really like. Gene Cabrera could help the starting rotation at some point if he keeps pitching well. So, yeah, and look, you still got Moises Chase when he comes back from Tommy John surgery.
I like Moises. He has a heavy fastball.
Arun Escobar.
Hopefully he comes back fully healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, Arun Escobar's had a good start so far in Rang. I'm going to be there Tuesday, excited to see him. Really good kid. But you and I were talking, Oscar, like, how many of these guys do you think they're going to part with to win now? I think that's going to be the question.
That's going to be a question, and we're probably going to need an outfielder, maybe potentially an outfielder to. I mean, at the trading deadline, and I mean, there's some of these guys might not be here, so that's the unfortunate piece of it. How about you, Tim? I mean, how do you see the window?
Well, I remember talking with you a year or two ago and saying, like, the window's 2024, 2025. Well, it's
23 was the
2026.
window when we needed
2026.
to win. 23 was the window when we needed to win
Yeah.
the championship. I mean,
Yeah,
that was the year.
2023 may be the one that got away. I'm not saying they can't compete this year and they won't, but yeah, it concerns me that top three, Turner, Schwarber, Harper, they're all 33. You have questions in the middle of the lineup. And the one guy, not to say that Dante Nori or Arun Escobar can't end up being really good major leaguers, or Justin Crawford, but the one guy in your system that you think could potentially be like a core blue chip player is Aiden Miller. And right now he's hurt. So yeah, I mean, I definitely have some questions about whether whether the window's maybe passed to some degree, or whether you're still in the window, but maybe a little less than you were the last couple of years.
And I love what they did with Sanchez and Luzardo. I mean, extending them. Those guys together with Painter are going to be the future. So pitching, you could say the core, your starting pitching of the future is set for the next 5 years or so. The bigger question is going to be right here in the lineup, which is the window, particularly. I mean, the way I look at it is, with age, it's going to start shrinking and shrinking more in the middle of this lineup. I mean, where the money is truly invested on. So, Tyler, your thoughts, and Luke?
Yeah, so I always thought that the window would be until 2025. Thankfully, it looks like it's still here, but I agree with Tim. It probably is just a little bit less than what it's been in the past. But with the emergence of Sanchez and Luzardo and Painter and Crawford, I think that they've done an okay job trying to make it sustainable into the future. But it is tough when you have those players that are getting older. And I think right now we're still in a window. I don't have a date range for it, but they have to keep supplementing those guys, because if they stop supplementing those hitters as they get older, I mean, it could be an absolute disaster when it comes to the position player side. But I'm not concerned with the pitching at all. I think that they're in a very good spot. The bullpen, that's a year-by-year thing. You can add to that. You can make that better. But I don't think that this core, if it continues aging, which it will, the guys around it, if they're not picking up some of that, then they're in trouble. But they do have some prospects that they can trade. There are some guys that they can try out. I don't think that we see that window fully closing yet. But yeah. I don't know. I think they're trying their best to be sustainable, and I don't really feel comfortable putting a number on it.
And then the question, and I'll bring you, Luke, you can comment on this. Bichette, if Bichette would have come here, what would have Bichette changed? I know he has, I mean, it's a lot more of a contact guy. I mean, how would he have changed the window?
Well, the first 9 games, not much. But yeah, I mean,
they're booing him out of New York. Huh?
Yeah, they are big time. I mean, it's tough. He's a younger player that would be a good impact bat in the middle of your lineup. But the window for me is simple. It's Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, and JT Realmuto. Like, those are the guys. And I know JT's 35, getting towards 36 soon. And I'll be honest, I don't have a ton of confidence in what you're going to get from JT Realmuto out of the next few years. But it was something you maybe had to do at the time. But it's
from a hitting standpoint, from a catching standpoint,
he's still got it for sure. But it's what you get from these core guys that make a lot of money. It's as simple as that for me. What do you get from the guys that you should be getting a lot out of? Once it seems like Trey, Schwarber, and Bryce don't have it anymore, then I think the window's pretty shut. And yes, the starting rotation will keep them in it, but the starting rotation's been really good the last couple years, and they've fallen short even when their rotation has been good. Their rotation last year was the best it's been in a really, really long time, and it really didn't matter once they got to October.
So here's the rotation. I mean, and what we've seen so far. I mean, look, Sanchez has been what Sanchez is, right? One of the top pitchers in all of baseball. Painter, I mean, probably I was going to say better than even advertised, but he has the talent. I mean, that's advertised from a talent standpoint. And you saw what Luzardo did yesterday was incredible. And Nola is what I would expect the Nola to be. I expect his ERA would be around 4, maybe slightly below 4 for the year. But those, I mean, 4 guys together with Wheeler are the composition of what I would be a championship team. The bigger question comes, can our bats, support the championship starting pitching that Dombrowski and the team have been able to build? Mattingly and the team have been able to build. I mean, that's kind of the reality. I think if Wheeler comes back like the Wheeler we know, I mean, this is going to be the best rotation in baseball, if not top 2, top 3 in all of baseball. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind.
I'm not worried about the pitching. It's particularly the starting. It's the lineup. And the lineup, even the last few years, when you're talking about these guys at their peaks, hasn't been good enough. As they start to decline a little bit, certainly you've seen it with JT. Who knows what we're seeing with Harper? Look, Trey Turner took a lot of crap last year for how he performed in the playoffs. Well, he missed a month before the playoffs because he strained his hamstring and then is immediately thrown back into facing the Dodgers. So keeping him healthy, his hamstrings this year, is arguably as important as just about anything on this team, because he's had back-to-back years with hamstring strains, 1 to each leg, and usually that doesn't get better once you get older. But his speed is such a value to this team that they need to find a way to make it work, whether that's more frequent off days, whatever. You got to get him healthy to the playoffs and hope that once the playoffs go, he can just go from there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what, Tim? I'm glad you mentioned the hamstring thing. I think that was like one of the storylines we kind of forgot about with the Turner hamstring. Oh, and you didn't have Zach Wheeler for the playoffs last year. Jose Alvarado was suspended. Otto Kemp's playing on a broken kneecap, a separated shoulder, whatever else he had. But overall, you're right. Like, this team was banged up going to the playoffs last year, and we talk about the window. Well, if Turner's healthy, if Wheeler's healthy, if Alvarado isn't dumb and gets suspended, are we having this conversation, or is this like the last run type thing?
And with Turner, it was not just last year. It was the year before that he missed a month as well. So 5 weeks or whatever he missed.
Yeah, I think it was 6 weeks, right? And he still made an all-star team?
Yeah, and that is the connection to getting older and closer. And that's what we feel, that from a hitting standpoint, the window could be closing every year more and more because of the age and because of the health of a lot of these guys. I mean, Harper with his wrist last year. I mean, Turner with his hamstring. I mean, it's a little bit concerning. Here's where our pitching is: 5-4, 4.39. We're 20th in baseball, 18th our starting pitching in terms of ERA, and we're 24th. We're relief pitching. I do believe that we started pitching better toward the end of after the Marlins game. The Nationals game. That first game, our pitching has begun to look the part, particularly both our starting pitching. Luzardo and Nola look incredible. I mean, Taijuan Walker looked like Taijuan Walker. I mean, allowing 4 runs per game, 3 home runs today. He had allowed 40. I believe he had thrown 42 innings in Colorado, and he had allowed 4 home runs. Today, in 5 innings, he allowed 3. So, I mean, look, the reality is he's not the pitcher he used to be, and he is going to be the long man on this team, and potentially when we need a 6th starter, he's going to be that 6th starter. That's who Taijuan Walker is. Anything
and he wasn't as bad as he was the first game.
What was that?
He wasn't as bad as he was the first game.
Yeah.
The first game was weird, though. I know people think this seems like making excuses, but like everything was like an 87-mile-an-hour single hit to the exact, and eventually it doesn't matter. Today was just weird. He got rocked. Like, that's more what you would expect if a guy's going to struggle. I'll go back to what I said about Alvarado. I haven't been necessarily impressed so far. Last night, he threw 13 pitches and 5 of them were strikes. And even the pitch he got him to swing at to end the at-bat, I think it was Karros, it was a nasty pitch, but it was not a strike. It would have been a walk had he not swung at it. So
I don't know how much he trained during the winter. That's my honest assessment.
He's definitely bigger. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Well, I understand why they picked up the option, but I think we all took it for granted that you're going to get the best case scenario. 2 years ago, he wasn't very good. We all talk about last year. 2 years ago, he wasn't very good. So with
last
him,
year in the beginning, he was really good when he was in shape, and you could see the guy was coming all out. But
I mean, we can speculate as to why that was.
Look,
but
it's a contract year for him. What I'm hoping is now that he's back here, he's going to get fully in shape and have the best season. He needs to have the best season of his life. He wants to get paid. I mean, that's the reality of it. I mean, and I'm hopeful. I mean, he's
getting paid right now, though.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I get it, Jeff. I mean, I'm not gonna hide anything. I mean, he looks significantly bigger than he looked last year, and he needs to get in shape, and we need the best version of him. That's the bottom line. And if he wants to have a future in baseball, he needs to prove it this year.
Call me stupid, I'm still intrigued by Kyle Backus, because when he throws strikes, he gets swings and misses.
Yeah, that ball,
it's nasty.
Going across. Look, one thing that I'll just mention about
Tim,
this,
do we think Backus is getting sent down when Kirkland comes back, or
I think Pop might be sending them.
Or you think it's Pop?
Or Pop. I mean, Tim Meza has made it impossible. He's been one of the best relievers.
He's been their best pitcher.
Tim Meza's been awesome.
Meza is the number one lefty coming out.
The only thing Tim Meza's been struggling with is what to speak at Millersville's graduation.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I think Backus will go down first just because Pop doesn't have the option.
He doesn't have any options?
No, but I mean,
Pop does have a split deal though.
Yeah, he does. So maybe they won't claim him.
Right, and if he gets claimed, so be it. But no, I think you're right. With three other lefties, I think there's a chance Backus does go down. But and maybe that ends up being a good thing for him. Obviously, in 2022, Jose Alvarado went down, worked on his control, and came back and was one of the best pitchers in baseball afterwards. I'm not saying Backus is going to do that, but I think Tanner Banks is a good number 3 lefty. I kind of put Tim Meza in that same group. You hope you get what you get out of Alvarado, but you need another nasty arm in the bullpen. And I think Backus, the floor is lower, but the ceiling is also higher.
Yeah, and he looked much better in the last couple outings he's had. Look, to me, most important number that we need to see out of all the stats is the starting pitching ERA. That's how this team have won over the last few years, and that's how we want to win this year. The other thing that I find very encouraging is all the greens on the right-hand side, with our base on balls being 4th in baseball, and we're 6th in baseball in terms of Ks, and number 1 in starting pitching. Last year, we were number 2 in starting pitching in number of strikeouts. So you could see Luzardo playing a key role there, as well as Christopher Sanchez, and hopefully when Wheeler comes in, we do the same thing. And I've been very, very impressed by Nola so far. Here are their numbers. I mean, Nola in 11 innings have 16 strikeouts and 3 base on balls. That's very, very impressive. Christopher Sanchez, we know he did not have his best stuff the other day, and he allowed those 4 base on balls, 17 strikeouts in 11 innings, and Luzardo with 18 strikeouts in 12 innings. Luzardo is going to be among the top leaders in the strikeouts in all of baseball. Health is going to be the key for him. So far, so good with starting pitching outside of Taiwan. And then here's where our relief pitching is. I did it more in terms of performance of ERA. I did it more in terms of how I view them in terms of rank. So Duran, 193 ERA, perfect. I mean, he's 3 out of 3 in save opportunities. Keller, he needs to continue to improve that. I mean, but he had that mishap in the game against the Nationals with Abrams getting those 3 runs, the only 3 runs he allowed. Alvarado, he needs to get better, no doubt. 1350, had that huge bad outing. He allowed 4 runs in that outing. Banks, 245, what we needed. Meza, we talked about him already. I mean, he looked the part, and he looked really, really good. 6 innings, 7 strikeouts. Boland, he was the last. This is important in Boland. Boland was the last pitcher on the Royals staff last year, so he's going to be kind of in the back of the pen, more being in the top of the pen. I know they've been trying to use him on the side. He has good stuff. I'm not questioning his stuff, but he needs to have more swing and a miss. Only 2 strikeouts so far, and I mean, he hasn't pitched much as we've seen so far. Pop, it's the last 3 guys. I know Boland is out of options, so he's going to remain here. And you said, Tyler, that Pop does not have options?
Yeah, only Backus and Duran have off.
Okay. Okay.
And I
Let's
think
send the
Banks-
round down.
But
Yeah.
By the way, Bolin needs a new entrance song. This song.
Oh, you're not
he's
a
got-
fan? You're not a fan, Tim?
Well, it does say like 6'6" named John or something, so I know why he has it. It's
interesting for sure.
It's got no aura to it.
Yeah, and the guy's a big dude. I mean, so he could have a little bit more of a edge on his entry song. I can send him some Bad
I
Bunny
want to
songs
ask
if
you
he
guys
needs some.
this. I want to ask you guys this while we're talking about pitcher. What you guys think of Otto Kemp surrendering "Take Me Out" for Andrew Painter?
I love it. I
Yeah,
love
I
it
do
because I love it. I love it for Andrew Painter. I think it's an awesome starting. It's an awesome one for a pitcher. That is absolutely a song for a pitcher.
Yeah, I was like, because Otto told me before the year he gave it up, and I'm like, I wonder who he gave it up. I wonder, because I remember Andrew Painter used it when he was in Reading a couple of years ago, and I'm like, I wonder if he's going to go back. Well, that's exactly what happened.
Oh my! So, guys, any final thoughts? I got the last slide on what's coming next. Any final thoughts in terms of pitching in general? I think we're going to be okay. I think our relief pitching is better than last year as well. Having Duran the entire year is a huge plus.
They'll be good. There was a lot of high hopes coming into this year for the rotation and the bullpen. And
high hopes like the 94 point.
Gotta pay up. I think it's a good It's a really good rotation on paper. It's a good bullpen on paper. It's been 9 games. I think they'll put it together.
Yeah, no, I have high hopes as well. So, I mean, any concerns with the pitching at all, Tyler or Tim and your end? No? Okay.
I mean, just Walker, but he'll get moved to the bullpen anyway. So,
yeah, it feels like all the things you would be concerned about, that they're going to be changing anyway.
So the questions are going to be the 2 guys. So is it Poitras and Pop? Are those the 2 guys that are going to go down? I mean, Maisa, you can beat Maisa down, and Bolin doesn't have any options. So I don't think unless they decide to DFA Walker, which I doubt.
They're not going to DFA Walker because they don't have any starting pitching depth.
Yeah, that's true. And he gives you the experience there.
And if they would DFA Mesa, that would be that'd be a big mistake.
Yeah, I agree. Guys. I mean, so here's what's coming next. So we're playing the San Francisco Giants Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We have Thursday off, and then we come back home to play Arizona. We got Painter against Hauser. We got Sanchez against Ray. Nola against Miley, the ex-pitcher of the Cincinnati Reds. He was pitching somewhere last year, other than
Texas.
Texas. Yeah, I knew it. I knew he was somewhere else with Texas. So look, how do we see in the Giants series? Anything that pops up on you?
Can they just get out of here? Yeah, can they just get out of here? I still got the Patrick Bailey home run in my mind.
I'm so happy they moved their start times up in San Francisco. They always did 10-10 start times. That difference, that extra half hour can't be underestimated.
Makes a lot of sense.
You get into the new day. With these, you might still be in the same day. Yeah, just get out of here. Don't get swept.
Who did he hit the home run against? Who did he hit?
Jordan Romano, who's had a really good start for the Angels, actually.
He's on a really good start because Joe Adell.
Joe Adell was pretty good for him.
But by the way, I still have Romano in the video. The video is being changed. But the guy,
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah, you saw that. I knew
that's why I was making fun of you at the beginning of the show.
I'm like, it's coming, guys. The guy's on Eastern holiday. I mean, at the beach, and said, "I'm not going to finish it before," and I said, "I'm going to kill you." So we have go see tomorrow at noon. Phillies fastball that has new videos and had cool stuff there, so you can also see that one. I promise by next week we'll have a new video here.
Yeah, so the Phillies should actually go into this series with an advantage. Granted, it is San Francisco, so it feels like they never do. But the Giants have been bad. They can't hit. They don't have a single starter with an OPS over 678.
Arise is their best hitter. No, just kidding. Never.
Not even. It's bad.
I thought Julio Ramos was going to be a lot better than he's been lately. I mean,
The whole Tony Vitello thing is very bizarre.
Yeah. It's just Gabe Kapler all over again.
I think they're getting used to everything out there a little bit.
Yeah. So,
well, maybe the
Phillies
is doing like college training or something.
Day?
He compared Devers to Tiger Woods, but then he caught himself
before
like
the accident or after the accident.
A week or two ago, he just started riffing about Kanye West. Like he's kind of a wild card, and yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. Harrison Bader will be against the Phillies for the first time, so that'll be interesting. And
he's been
I mean,
start.
they should do well in San Francisco, but who knows? I mean, for a long time, the Phillies would get curb stomped every time they went to Coors Field, and that seems to have changed. So maybe this is where it changes at Oracle Park. If not, at least the games will be over a little earlier.
Harrison Bader, 397 OPS right now.
Yeah. It's almost it's early.
Yeah, he's hitting like 160 or 160 or something like that. The only thing that
118, Oscar.
What is it?
118.
Oh, 118. So he went 0-for-4 today. Soroka has been pitching really, really well. He looks like he's a new pitcher. He's the first 2 starts that he has. I mean, he looked really, really good. I picked him up on one of my fantasy teams, so I was able to pick him up. He's looked really, really good so far.
A Friday night game against Mike Soroka at home just seems like a game the Phillies get shelled in. That just has a loss written all over it.
We got
luckily we have Luzardo, but that has the first game in the City Connect that has loss written.
The Phillies had a good first game, and then a second one that was not that good at all. I mean, so it's interesting.
And game 2.
Go ahead.
Brandon.
I was going to say, game 2, you're going against Brandon Pfaadt, who you don't exactly have a great track record against.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my God.
We stole some memories of the 23 NLC. Tim always reminds me every time I see the water bottle.
Yeah, they got to win in San Francisco. That's the bottom line. They got to win.
That guy. I mean, we should boo him before and do some things when he's warming up.
The best part about that Saturday game is it's a 105 start.
That is a nice Saturday. I didn't even realize that. That is nice.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Well, some of our friends here have written some things here. Let me just go over it before we close. Let me go back to our images here, and before we close and answer any questions. Keller has not been great. I mean, we heard that. This is the first time the bullpen have felt good.
That's fair.
As far as the offense, hit or miss so far, yeah, absolutely. Here's our friend Martin. What might happen if between now and the All-Star game, Crawford bats 300 and get on base, while Thompson, 3 favorites only manage. I would not move.
They will not average a combined 150 by the All-Star break.
Yeah, I will not. They will not hit 150, but I would not.
What happens if a car crashes into your house? Like who?
I would not move Crawford out of the 9th hole the entire year, in my view. That I would not move Crawford. So
if they combine for 150, you'll never see me again on.
Well, the Phillies are going to be 30 games under 500 if they.
Nice looking up by everyone. Thank you for. I guess he's talking about our lineup, not the lineup of the Phillies so far. So, guys, thank you so much. I mean, as always, it's a real honor to have you here with us. I mean, Jeff and I truly appreciate it. Thank you for your insight, your perspective. Very, very valuable. And look, the season is starting, so we'll have you here in a couple of weeks.
Let's do it.
So, looking forward to it. Have a wonderful rest of the Eastern holiday if you celebrate. For all of you that are out there, then again, it's a pleasure to have you back here with us, and send us your comments. I mean, we would look forward to answer any questions you have, and have a wonderful week, guys. And hopefully the Phils can give us what is it? It's what is it? 5-2 or 5-1 this week. I mean, I don't know.
If we didn't make a prediction,
I'll take a 4-2. I'll take a 4-2 this week.
You know what? I'll take a win in San Fran. That's what I'll.
3 games in San Francisco and games against Soroka and Pfaadt. I think 5-1 would be a pipe dream. But yeah, let's do it. 5-1.
4-2. Tim, where can we follow you in social media? Everything you're doing on OnPattison with the stoplight and all the magic that you do.
Yeah, there's a new episode of Phillies Stoplight with Mike McGarry out. Check that out on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, and then OnPattison and Bleacher Report.
You got to get McGarry here as well.
We need to get Mike on.
Yeah, he's a great guy. But Tyler, with all your magic, where can we see you?
Just at Phil's tailgate.
You do all your magic there. Don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble.
Well,
it's good. It's good. Bring the juice, brother. Bring the juice. That's the most important thing. Luke, talk to us about all the magic. I saw you the other day in what is it? Phil Focus.
Yeah. You can follow me at Arcaini.
This guy's
Luke
everywhere.
on Twitter. Yeah, I'm trying. At Arcaini Luke on Twitter and writing obviously everything over at Crossing Broad and over on Substack as well.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And Jeff, where can we follow you on social media?
Jeff Kerr PHL. You can follow my Substack, jeffdkerr.substack.com. Find me on Phillies Fastball during the week for Phillies coverage, and starting with Eagles on SI this week. So pretty excited.
And we're also in the BFA network. We send our best to Mike Gill and company there, and we look forward to see you in the next few weeks, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next Sunday at 8 p.m. John Foley and the gang are going to be here with us next week. So thank you so much, guys, for being with us, and God bless.
See you guys.
Lanzamiento, aquí viene un batazo de Mundito entre right center field, la bola pica, se extiende, viene anotando Stott, empata el juego, también manda para la bola Turner anota y los Phillies se van arriba. Se prepara Mundito en segunda, el lanzamiento, batazo profundo para el center field, la bola se va, Schwarber Bob, ¡campanazo! Aquí viene el lanzamiento. Swing y